will I will let it all hang out with people. I'll be like, yeah, no, I feel like I'm like the laziest person up. Like I will just share it out in the world. And once you share it out in the world with someone, the person across you will be like, what are you talking about? And you're like, oh, I guess it wasn't real. Like, you know what I mean? So like just so just not being ashamed of it and being like, oh, feeling like a fraud today. Like I'll just text friends of mine. Like you develop a group of people, right? So I'll be like, I'm feeling like a fraud today. So I decided to sit down and start editing. You know what I mean? Like you do the thing despite the thing, you know? And then I think over time you will start to like appreciate yourself, and you'll start to appreciate that people it gets received. But honestly, like you can't measure yourself on how you get received. It's so hard. There's a part of you who's like, am I in denial, or are people not receiving me? I don't know. Like, am I good or am I not good? But at some point you have to be like, well, I'm doing this because this is my life. This is my life. I only have this one life. Someday I'm gonna die, and this life will be over. Like, what am I gonna do while I'm here? What am I gonna do while I'm here every day of my life? What am I gonna wake up and do every day of my life while I am here, so that when that day comes, whenever that day comes, I'm okay with the fact that that day came? Because I can look back at my life and be like, I did a good job. I did my best. And I had courage when I was afraid. That's it. That's like, what else can you do? What else can you do?
There are stickers on. That's where they have them on.
Wow, any other questions?
On the regular ones too. On the regular one.
Yes.
When did you become really into board games or like the card games?
Oh my gosh! Honestly, I grew up in a neighborhood full of boys, and oh my god, I like singing that, like da 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 da. Just kidding. So I grew up in a neighborhood full of boys, and my brother was like 16 months older than me, and I was like always the the littlest and youngest or whatever. So this is why I'm very self-competitive, because I was never gonna win at anything against them. But I was like, I'd be like, I'm gonna get that ball. I'm gonna put my hand on it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna score, but I'm gonna put my hand on that ball. But we were kind of a little bit of the Kool-Aid family in the neighborhood. We were like that Kool-Aid house. That was really my mom. That was her concept of a home. Like that's what she wanted to create. And so everyone in the neighborhood called my parents Mom and Dad K. And we had an in-ground pool. And so in the summertime, like my summertimes growing up was literally like my dad. We had this like field in the back of our house. There was like the elementary school and the middle school and whatever. And there's some baseball diamonds. There was like a little playground and a hill and stuff. So he would mow like baselines into the field in the back, like smaller, like not like standard size, but like a smaller one. And we would play like pickup games, where like 3-inning pickup games where all the people in the neighborhood come over and my dad would pitch, and we would be like, okay, you're the captain and you're the captain, and then we could pick your teams. We play 3 innings and be like, yay! And then now you're the captain, and we pick teams, we play 3 innings, and we do that, and then we would all go swimming. And then a bunch of people would go away, and then a group of us would stay and play cards. And depending on how many people were there, we would play like this weird French game, like Milbourne. Does anyone know that one? Do you know that game? No, I got so upset. Do you know that game? Oh, you know that game with the stop and the go and the stuff. I'm like, what is this? It's a driving game? It's a card game? Like, I don't even know. But it was like, and it takes a long time to play. Yeah, I haven't thought about that game in so long. I don't know anyone else who knows that game. So we played that. We played hearts or spades or euchre or whatever, and we would just like play cards all night, and or we would play board games and stuff. So I think that really it was just, and for me that was, I think because I grew up around boys, I feel like I socialized more as a guy, and I feel like part of that, just like as a cultural level, is that you bond through activities. You know what I mean? Like I feel like women can bond through sharing, and men bond through activities, and in a very super broad way, right? And so I love the like playing board games, you know what I mean? Because it's just something you get to do together. And then, like for example, like she came in this morning, and like the first thing we lunch and do was like, oh my god, remember last time we played Secret Hitler? Da, 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 da. You know what I mean? And like I just feel like I know everyone at that table, and I had an experience with everyone at that table because I played that game with them in a way that's different than people I just saw in a hallway or whatever, you know? So I feel like the like bonding, like social bonding through like games was just instilled in me from a young age, because that's how I grew up. That's how I bonded with my community. Was like we played baseball, and we we swam, we played games and card games and stuff like that. So, and my family is, we're all like game players, you know what I mean? We all like that. Actually, for my birthday, my mom was like, you have to come home here. They were supposed to come to California, the family and all this stuff happened, and these people could come, so then she was like, will you come home? Because, we celebrate a lot of birthdays without you. And I was like, all right, Mom. So she's like, what do you want to do? We can go out tonight. I was like, can we just like have a game night? So we made all the family come over, and we just had like pizza and games all night. And I taught my family Celebrity. Have you guys ever played Celebrity? Oh my God. It's super fun. Okay, I'm just gonna explain it really fast so you guys can play it some other time. So okay, so we're all in the. Okay, so the six, we're all playing, right? So we're all playing Celebrity, right? And we're gonna break into like 2 teams. It's gonna be like 4 on 4. We're all playing. Okay, you know what? And then so everyone here, like you're playing. Everyone here, you guys decide like, oh, we're gonna write down 5 clues or 4 clues or whatever, how many clues you want. The more clues, the longer the game is. And you write down like literally like anything like Pictionary or charades clues. You can be like the Wizard of Oz. A post office, like you could just like whatever clue you want, like lines from something, whatever. And then you fold them and you put them in a hat, right? And then we split, and then you're team A and team B. So the first round, team A goes, and you have like a minute to get your team to guess as many clues as they can, and then you pull out a clue and you get them to guess it, and then you toss it over, and then the hat goes back and forth until all the clues have been gone through, right? So, the first round, you can say and do anything. You can be like, oh, it's that book with the chick with the red shoes. Click, click, click. Yes, yay! And then the next, and then like, it's that state that's like that we're in right now. Like at the top. Maine. Yes, and then you go right. I can say anything, right? So then round 2, you can only use 1 word for every clue. So you kind of have to pay attention to how other people are getting it. So then the next round I would go, click, state, Maine, you know what I mean? So you have to kind of remember how they remembered it or whatever. And then the third round, and you go through all the things, you tally up your points until you've gone through all the clues. So now everyone in the room knows all the clues, after the first round. So the second round, the third round, you can't say anything. It's like charades.
Wizard of Oz.
Yes! So I'm trying to, it's a little bit complicated when you explain it, right? So I'm telling this to my family, and my family is like, they can't even make clues. Like, they're like, I don't know what to write. I was like, write anything. One of my brother's friends wrote, puff, puff, pass. Which my mom got and did not understand. So she was going, it was hysterical. He was like bright red, but it was like I was like peeing myself laughing, like just them trying to write out their clues. Like I was already having the time of my life. So teaching them that game was super, super fun. But then they got really, once we played it once, and they were like, oh. Then we played it like they wanted to play it. We got to play it a couple of times. But my mom didn't really understand clues, so her clues were like the post office. She just like wrote down nouns, flower. So that was super fun. So yeah, I guess it's just like it's just been like a lifelong thing. But honestly, living in New York, I didn't do it as often because apartments aren't really big enough to have people like over, But now that I'm in LA, I have a couple of friends that have like game nights or whatever. But it's still sometimes hard to get everyone like together. But I've recently become obsessed with Betrayal on the House on the Hill. So that is the one that I'm like, they're like, do you want to do? Oh, I want to play. I was like, I will play anytime you want to play. I might have once played by myself. Just one time. And then my other friend, I got her like really obsessed, and she was like, can we play now? And I was like, well, I'm at the theater, and there's no one else there, so she showed up. We brought like a table into the office, so I had to be in the production office like watching, because I was like in charge. So we brought like a table in, and I was like, all right, we're gonna play. You're gonna play 2 characters, and I'm gonna play 2 characters. And then when the traitor happens, whoever becomes the traitor, you'll play the traitor, and then the other person will play all the other 3 characters. And that's how we're gonna play. Instead of just like one-on-one, So we ended up playing 4 of us, and then when it became a traitor, there was no traitor, so we all just got to free play. But so I'm obsessed. But I also like, but again, it's sometimes it's like just the being with people and the playing and then hanging out and stuff. So it's another way. Also, like I don't like drink or like do drugs or anything like that. So I've never been like go to the club, go to the bar, go to the whatever. So I've had to find like other ways to get entertaining. I was so embarrassed last Christmas. We had Christmas dinner at my house, and we had just a couple of my friends over and a couple of my roommates' friends over, and we were. We'd finished dinner, and so we were just like hanging out talking, and then like we put on Bad Santa because they rewinded it to the beginning because two of the people there had never seen it before, and I was like, well, I don't want to just watch the movie, so I went into my room and I like pulled out like a coloring book, and I was like, you're gonna be so lame, come on there. I was like, no, do it. Well, I'm gonna seem really antisocial if I sit in my room and color while it's gonna seem like I'm rejecting the movie. I was like, no. I was like, well, I guess I'm just gonna. So I got out there and I pulled it out and everyone was like, is that a coloring book? And I was like, oh yeah. So like we had to go like find other coloring books. So like we all sat there and like just colored and watched like Bad Santa, and I was like, this is the best Christmas ever. Because I just love the way and then we're like, oh, and now like two of the pictures are like on our fridge, and we're all like, Christmas, 2015, it was Christmas. So I don't know. I just it's I love I think everything that I do that I love in my life has to do with like connecting to others. Like even this trip, like looking back, I was just in Europe for like 2 weeks, right? And looking back, like yeah, I saw amazing things, and I went to the Coliseum and but I was like, the things that stick out for me are like, oh, that night I went to that bar and I delivered that gift from someone, and then I hung out with her and she practiced her English and I practiced my Italian, and the time I stayed with the guys and they invited their friends over and they made homemade lasagna and we watched the Big Brother Italy VIP finale, you know what I mean, till 1 in the morning, and I was like trying to follow. I was like, it's amazing how much you can understand when you watch Big Brother in Italian, even if you don't speak Italian. You're like, so this person's mad because of this, because he did that, and he did that because they don't like her, and he was going to try, and they're like, yeah. I was like, it's amazing how much you can understand without understanding anything just by watching. You're like, it's pretty simple. But even now, I look back and I think, oh, those are the things that stick out to me. So the time that but then it goes back to, without more crying, it goes back to this idea that like, you know, we're such a gift for each other in this world, in this life. So, and our ability to like connect with each other, like that's what gives my life meaning, is the people that I love and have been loved by, you know? And everything else is just like a vehicle for that, you know? Let's go on a hike so we can connect. Let's play a board game so we can connect. Let's thumb wrestle. I'm horrible at thumb wrestling. Don't thumb wrestle me. Anyway, another question or comment? Who here also likes board games? What board games do you guys play? What do you play?
Okay, so I'm super competitive and kind of a sore loser. So my favorite...
Don't play with him!
I'm sorry, I'll admit it.
It's fine.
My favorite board game is Pandemic because it's everybody facing one problem. You're trying to stop a disease. So you're all trying to work together to beat the board game. So it's really
you would be good at betrayal unless you became the traitor. You'd be good at that first half of betrayal.
I love betrayal.
And then,
I'm just like, I'm sitting there like, I really, really want to be the traitor. Like, why not?
I hate being the traitor because I feel like I'm playing it by myself. What other games? Settlers of Catan, yes.
Not technically a board game, but I like Cards Against Humanity.
Oh, Cards Against Humanity, yeah. Same thing, right?
Risk.
Risk? Oh, yeah, I can't do Risk. It's like, because I feel like if it starts to go badly for me at the beginning, I'm like, now it's going to be like 3 hours until next time I get a chance. Yeah? D&D, yeah.
I don't remember the name of that.
It's also not a board game, Magic.
Oh, Magic, yeah, Magic, of course, yeah. I like any kind of gameplay that's between like 60 and 90 minutes. Like that's the perfect amount of game, because then you can play at least 2. You know what I mean, in a given evening.
I wish I could remember the name of that. I used to play it all the time. It's like Trivial Pursuits, only you can bet. You use chips, and then if you get a question, you're like, okay, science and nature, I got this. I'm going to put 5 on myself to win. You can't bet on yourself to fail, of course. But the other players can bet against you, for or against. And if you get the question
Oh, I would
Yes,
lose
they're-
friendships at this game. I would lose relationships. I'd be
they
like,
put against you. It's like, oh, now I have to pay you.
ha!
It's an awesome game.
Ha! Yes,
that one.
ooh, yes, that would be rough. Oh, we were playing Kittens in a Blender last night. Anyone play the Kittens in a Blender? Right? Yeah, so I was learning that one, right? And so there were 4 of us playing. And then one of the guys, who will remain nameless, he was talking to someone who was not playing our game, and it was his turn, and I hate that. So I was like, can you make your turn and then finish your conversation? So he just was like, he's like, oh, sorry, because he didn't realize this is turn. So he just like turns over and he and he ends up just like playing, like he just like is talking to her and then and he like makes his play, and then his turn is over, right? But the play that he made without thinking about it was he put 2 of my kittens in the blender. Both my kittens in the blender. I was like, oh, it's gonna be like that, huh?